Leanne, you know what you asked us yesterday? What's the best way to approach that question? Is Ravi going to get back to us?
Oh, which one? The award rates?
The Franca situation?
Oh, no. Look, I think that Carolyn posted a good reply, but then I think she deleted it. I think that the solution is right, depending on who you're speaking to. You know, I spoke to Lauren yesterday about it, and she stands by her advice. She has worked in many different situations, and she explained a scenario that they used to call the Judy Black in inverted commas process. So that if you're ever in danger, you would call your buddy supervisor and say, hey, I'm just running behind schedule. I don't have Judy Black from wherever's phone number. Can you please give me a call and let her know that I'm running late, right? So that was sort of like code. I've run that past Erin, the supervisor. I'm going to see what she says. And Carolyn did post a great reply. And if she listens to this again, Carolyn, maybe I don't know, maybe email your suggestion. But Carolyn's was, gee, I can't remember it, but it was good. But it was a different approach to what Lauren had recommended.
Because like a code word for certain situations would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Especially for the clients of with mental health. Yeah.
Yes, I think that we probably have to develop something that we can tell our support workers, because we don't want them to feel like they're in danger. I'm still exploring it. I'm going to just see what we can, what information we can pull together as an answer to that, because I think it's an important one. And hello, Katie. Let me just make sure you can speak, Katie. Now, Katie, I think, is
was actually putting a question. Hi, Mr. Leon. I have this assessment about the org I work with. It's asking where there are challenging barriers in delivering service to our clients as an organization in general. Lots of barriers.
Yeah, where do you begin? So what we need to help Rosemary with her assessment. But that's a good question for this week's conversation. Hi, Katie. Katie, you're from our Gosford office, aren't you? So welcome.
Hello. I'm so glad to be a part of this.
This is brilliant. So we may have thrown our audience off a little bit this week because we had to bring it forward by half an hour. But so far we have our regular frequent flyer, Rosemary, who is always joining us every week and always posing some really good questions, but she can't put her camera or mic on because she's with a client. So her question is what we're going to start talking about. The session is recorded, so let's just talk about it anyway. And Rosemary has asked, what are the challenges, barriers in delivering services to our clients in general? So where would you start?
Staffing.
Staffing. Yes, there's a skill shortage.
Absolutely. Yeah. The rightly trained workers as well across all different departments, aged care, disability, eye care.
Yeah, level of education, which is why we're implementing this community and doing a lot more e-learning. Okay, so that's two. I'm sure you guys can think of more. I'm just going to put myself on mute because my little puppy's just freaking out over here. So I'll leave you to chat amongst yourselves.
Our culturally diverse clients, so language-specific workers.
Definitely.
I think, look at the old place where I used to work, and I think it's a really good idea. I'm trying to get a copy of it. We created a little booklet in the language specific with some key phrases. So we handed them out to our support staff. So maybe that would be an idea of something we could create as a company, a little basic booklet in all the different languages with basic greetings. Hello, please, thank you, may I help you? Are you cold? Are you hot? What would you like? What you don't like? Some basics like that.
Absolutely. And I will go into the mental health side of things as well, not taking things personal, knowing the difference between when a client's having a bad day or it's something triggered by their diagnosis disability. You need to be really self-aware of that. And having, as a support worker, having a good rapport with the assigned caseworker, case manager too, so you can debrief, touch base. That's really, really important.
And this was what we've been saying a lot because Lauren and I have been every week Katie, and we just said, get to know your case manager.
Yes, yeah. I spoke to Lauren, I think 2 weeks ago. She mentioned one of the musings with me. She discussed one of our staff members on the Central Coast, and we are available. Everyone's busy, but we're available. Shoot an email, give me a call. We adore our clients and we want what's best. And it's very isolating out there being a support worker. We've been there, and it's important you have that touch base with someone in the office.
And we sort of like reiterate this because we say, you know, like, for example, Lauren and I both have been support staff. That's how we started. And we are the eyes and ears of the case manager. So the case manager does know the client. We do meet him. We do, you know, the initial assessment. But in the day-to-day, week-to-week, the support staff's the one that knows the client best.
Absolutely, absolutely. And dated notes, progress notes, case notes, whatever you want to call them, we read them daily. We want to know everything.
Write it down. Yeah, we discussed them last week in detail, how important they are, and we gave them some tips on how to do some good progress notes. So if you haven't watched last week's recording, guys, it is up on the Facebook page. Rosemary's just put there, what about the fast turnaround of staff? What do you mean by the turnover of staff, that we're not being able to retain staff? Or do you mean the fast turnaround between clients, Rosemary? I'm just a bit unsure what you mean there. So if you could clarify that for me. I look a bit like a ghost with that sun shining on my face, don't I? But trust me, I'm not a ghost. Katie, I don't know if you saw on the Facebook page, there was conversation around, you know, what happens if you're feeling vulnerable, you're in a dangerous situation? What advice do you give your support workers? Have you had that situation before?
Absolutely. And as a support worker myself, I've been in that situation. You need to, we discussed this in our office last week too. You need to keep yourself safe and you need to keep the client safe. So what do? If you're in imminent harm, you obviously retract yourself away from that situation. And depending on the element of risk, you can phone the office, speak to someone, have direction, or I say if you're in big strife, I've called 000 before, knowing
safety
the
first.
level.
Yeah. Safety first.
Yeah. I've been in I had one client a long time ago, horrible childhood, really extreme disability, and she was physically attacking me and I had to lock myself in the car. And in that instance, I rang my caseworker first. He didn't answer, so I just rang 000. I said, this is what's happening to me. Kept myself safe, kept eyes on my clients to make sure she was safe too.
Locking your car, that's good advice. There you go. Yeah, put yourself first. You couldn't help anyone. That's the first action you need to take in first aid, isn't it? I mean, you've got you
need to make sure you're safe first, because you're not going to help anyone if you're not safe.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Look, sometimes as well as case managers, we know some of these clients are very volatile. So it may be the case that the first time that you go to this client, it may be that the case manager comes with you.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
And ask for that.
It depends.
Yeah, and if it hasn't been offered, ask for that. But I think the other recurring theme is read the care plan. Yeah, read the progress notes before you before you go and see any new clients.
And if you think there is something missing in that care plan, okay, because it wasn't present when we did the assessment, just say, oh, look, by the way, I read the care plan. This is what's written. But it's been 6 months since you wrote that. I've noticed this.
Definitely.
And that could trigger a review or, another visit. The other thing is to usually the care manager, case managers have a very good rapport with our clients. Because, for example, myself, I speak a lot to them on the phone. So I know them very well and I have a very easy open communication with them. They drive me mad sometimes, but I like having that human interaction with them. And as you get to know them, ask them, especially mental health, they will appreciate that you don't treat them as dumb. And if you say to them, look, for example, I don't know, Katie, I've been coming here for 3 months. is there anything that I do that you don't like? Is there anything that I do that you wouldn't like me to do anymore? Is there something that makes you upset? You know, just empower them, ask them. They
Communication.
may refuse to answer, you know, or they may say, oh, gee, thanks for asking. You know, I'm human too, so you've actually considered me.
Rosemary is going full ball today. Great questions, Rosemary. Love your work. She was talking about staff turnover. Is that a problem? I think it is. It is a problem, and this is, I think it comes down to the level of support is one strategy to help people feel supported in this role, which is what we're hoping to achieve with the group and these sessions. And education. So just want to do a bit of an advertisement for the training college. We've got a lot of free complimentary e-learning programs. If you feel like you need to develop some skills, reach out to the coordinators, say, hey, I've got this client, I need to know more about personal care or hoist operations or whatever it is, complex bowel. I've just released units on subcutaneous injections, complex wound care. We're about to release pain management. We've got some really good e-learning courses there, how to support clients with dementia, clients in palliative care. So if you know that you have a skills gap and you need to develop skills for one of your clients, ask your coordinator to find a relevant course that is available from the college, or you can email the college, and I'll put the email in, inquiries with an E, so inquiries@meditechtrainingcollege.com.au. I'll be glad to help you there. And Rosemary's got another one. This is a common theme, keeps coming out, professional boundaries, but you might like to read Rosemary's question there.
Oh, definitely. This is a big one. Absolutely. Because I have a different opinion on this. I've worked for companies where they've reinforced professionalism, but we work with humans. There is an element of rapport you are going to establish, but the baseline of that is professional boundaries. We have a client who, what you wrote, Rosemary, expresses that she loves our workers, but our workers are directed to not so much respond, I love you back, but share that warmth. You're in the client's home.
We love coming to help you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love being part of, making your life easier. You can use the word love, but
yeah.
Rephrase it. That's smart. Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, I love you too, which comes very naturally and very spontaneous. Oh, just say, Miss Katie, thank you so much. I love coming to help you. I love the fact that, I make your day a little bit easier.
Yes. Absolutely perfect.
Yes. And that's experience, isn't it, Mitzi? I mean, that's experience talking. And so it is about learning this as you go, guys. Rosemary's just typing
and
there.
You will love some clients, and you will genuinely fall in love with clients.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why we do what we do, right?
Yes, because of your empathic skills, and those caring skills that you have naturally. Yeah. Beautiful.
These people are starving for human touch, attention. They're lonely, they're vulnerable. So they're so vulnerable, and they're letting you in their most intimate.
And sometimes you're their only form of social connection in the world.
Yes. Exactly. Lovely. Rosemary's still typing. So look, great questions there. Thank you so much, Rosemary. Let's see what else is you going to throw at us now, Rosemary.
I love your questions, Rosemary. You're bringing an element of humanness to this. I like it.
It's touching. Yeah, really touching. Yeah. Well, that's lovely. Okay, so ladies, when it comes to, I just want to talk about professional boundaries from you, Katie. We've talked about it a bit, and Mitzi's spoken to this. What's your advice to your support workers about, giving your mobile phone number, about, sharing personal information? What do you tell your support workers?
I tell my support workers, please don't do it, because you might have a client that might take it too far. You might think it's innocent, but we have been in situations where we hand out our number, and then that number can be shared around to the family, and you're receiving phone calls at midnight. It's always best as a support worker even a case manager, I can say, here's my work number. These are my hours I work. And as a support worker, we say, this is your case manager's number. Give them a call. This is the hours they work. Just nip it in the bud straight away. And you can always go back and say, look, it's Meditech policy. We don't share our personal information. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosemary wants to have a conference with all support workers. That sounds like a great idea.
The quarterly staff meetings that I was saying, they need to come in and interact with each other.
Yes,
We're actually, we've implemented 6 weekly support worker meetings. We had our first one last week.
Right.
We have our support workers separated in regions, so they're nice and close. They share the same clients. We bring them into the office and we have a conversation about client concerns, compliments. We discuss Meditech policies such as professional boundaries. I think it's really important.
Well, look, I'm all for doing that. The college could certainly host that. They wouldn't be paid though, so everyone needs to know these are not paid. This would be a professional development day, but the college could certainly host those quarterly sessions in Sydney. And you've just given me a fantastic idea, Rosemary. More work to do, but I love it. We could do something like that every quarter ourselves, but we probably, because there's so many in Sydney, we probably would have to rotate.
It's
and have
different.
it captured. Yeah, look, you've given me a great idea, Rosemary. I'm going to see what we can create there. Yes, it can be lonely.
We could possibly try and organise it in a way, for example, like, when a group of support staff, say, for example, the inner west area, they're all running low on equipment and they need to come in and pick up equipment.
Yes, we could. Yes, what a great idea. We could actually get smart with, the amount of people that come in, and it's out, it's a hassle to come to the office. So they could be killing 2 birds with one stone. I like it. Great. Rosemary, keep it coming. Keep it coming. This is fantastic. Very lonely work and isolating work. And I think there's things we could be doing, leading by example, the Gosford team. So well done there, Katie. Let's see what we can do there. I'll have a chat with the boss, see what we can organise. But we could do a PD session on all sorts of things. Yeah.
Question, like we have access to so much e-learning material, which is brilliant because anyone can access it at any time. Now, say, for example, there's 4 or 5 staff members that have done 5 or 6 modules, and some of these modules would benefit from having a face-to-face. Could they request maybe like a training in the office session? So, for example, I don't know, people are trained in PC, they're quite comfortable doing it with the shower chair and using all that, but then they're stumped when they have to do it a bed bath.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We can really, we could look at what is popular with the e-learning courses. There's going to be some marketing material coming out with links for you to enrol. I'm working on lots of things to make it easy for support workers to enrol into the courses. And maybe we could base it around, those popular courses. So that's identifying a real skills need. We can do all sorts of things. So really planted a seed for me there, Rosemary. Yeah.
Being neurodiverse myself, okay, we all learn differently.
And we all like to connect with other people and share stories. The shared stories, isn't it? It's the shared problems. How did you solve that problem? Even Carolyn's feedback on the Facebook was different to Lauren's perspective, which doesn't mean they're both right or wrong. There's different perspectives. There's different ways of handling it, different situations. But, it's about sharing that information with other support workers and with each other. That's how adults learn. E-learning is great, but it can't be on its own. It really, we do need that human interaction. I'm loving this idea.
And it's not for everybody.
No,
and
it's
that's
not.
what this Meditech Musings is about too. This is your way to feel connected as well.
Yes, yep. And I think me throwing the time back a bit has thrown, maybe people will join at 12:30. So if we can keep talking, I'm sure you girls can think of some other things. What else can we talk about?
Are we capturing the data, Leanne, of the people that actually watch it after it's happened?
I know how many people watch it, but I don't know how much of it they watch. That's a good question too. I don't know if I can find that out, the actual analytics. I know how many people appear to be watching it.
Or maybe put on the Facebook page throw it out there, you know, for all of you that have watched it. Is there anything that you heard or that you would like to comment on? Please, you know,
That's a great
send us a private message or something, just to capture some of,
I can do,
you know.
Yep, yeah, I love that idea too. Love it. Okay, fantastic. I'll look into that.
This I have lots of brain farts.
Oh, sorry, Mitzi. Can I go back to your question, Rosemary, about where is it? Where'd you write? About clients getting emotionally attached to workers. Have you, do you have a specific client that has done this with you before, or?
So Rosemary has to type her answer, so that might take her a bit.
That's okay. Oh,
Yeah,
she's pretty fast though. Or any specific client that you'd like to discuss while we're here? Oh,
yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay.
So yeah, it's from experience there.
Yeah.
and what did you do to handle the situation, Rosemary?
Ah.
Okay.
Ah, yeah, the client she's with. Yeah, yeah.
What are some of the issues with your client, Rosemary? Like disability, age, what is his or her situation? Her.
2 years.
Long
full-time.
time being with the client.
Mm,
You would have definitely established a warm rapport.
disability.
Wow.
depression,
How many
alcoholism.
days do you support this client, Rosemary?
So it's full time.
Yeah, and how many hours per day or per shift?
4 days. Wow.
That's a lot.
It
Okay.
is a lot. Yeah, 32 hours. a
32.
week.
Wow.
Is it just you working with the client on your own?
Yes.
Oh. What happens to
She
this
refused-
client when? Oh, okay.
No. She refuses other support workers. That happens a lot, doesn't it? They get
And that's a
attached.
conversation a case manager should have, because I always say you should always have at least 2 support workers. We get sick,
Yeah.
you might go on holidays, you might find another job. It's always best to have 2 to 3 workers.
Yeah, you love working with her, Rosemary, but you know, our job has a use by date. You know, we give, even though we are professional, even though we have our boundaries and we work with our head, we do this job because we also use our heart. So it is consuming. You may think you're okay, you love it, but it does wear you down.
It can be draining.
Yeah.
When you're finished typing, Rosemary, I'd love to talk about what your self-care
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, look, let's talk about self-care. That's a great topic. What does that look like? What do you have this conversation with your support workers? What do you encourage them to do to look after themselves, especially with, you know, dealing with a difficult client? You know, how do you debrief from that, and who do you talk to, and who do you go to say, hey, that was really intense, and I'm feeling overwhelmed by that session or that visit? What are you recommending that they do?
Walking, reading, schooling,
Good.
exercise. I'm going to go to the shops. I'll walk around.
Mm.
Okay.
Self-care
air.
is so important. Yeah.
Mhm.
Walking around, Rosemary, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Just to get out in the open.
Ground yourself.
Go out to nature. See if you can walk in
Yeah.
on a track or a bush track. I find the smell of nature just makes me feel instantly better.
Now, this must sound really weird, Rosemary. Okay, but this is something I need to do. Okay, to ground myself. Go to the park, take your shoes off, and walk on the grass.
Grass. Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
And take deep breaths and focus on the tree, how green the leaf is, how blue the sky is. You saw a rose. What color is the rose? Did it smell? Just focus on those little things.
That grounding.
And it's incredible what it does.
Well, they say if you have anxiety, I remember somebody said if you need to, like, you know, to get that focus and that grounding, sit there and immediately think of, you know, what would engage you, what's engaging your 5 senses right here, right now. So what can you see right now? I can see my beautiful jacaranda tree. What can I smell? I can smell, I don't know, something flourish. I think we must have a diffuser. You know, what can I taste at the moment? I'm horribly thirsty, so I need to go to, you know, what are the other two? What can I hear? You know, so, and really focus on those senses, you know, look at that jacaranda tree. you know, take a deep breath in, and it's just all you're thinking about are your five senses, which is really about yourself, isn't it? You know, and
it's grounding you again.
Yeah. So that's one recommendation. Going for a walk, engaging your five senses.
I think keeping it simple, really. There doesn't need to be an extravagant spa day, although we would all love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But who's got time?
Keeping it simple.
Just sit on a bench with your eyes closed in the sun.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Face the sun. Look at the beauty of the world. She could, and Rosemary's, she does some self-care, walking, reading, schooling, education. You know, some people get relaxed by learning, or reading a book. It doesn't have to be educational. It can be anything. Exercise, going to the shops, walking around, buy yourself a nice latte, anything like that. Treat yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive, does it?
Debriefing with your case manager or a fellow colleague. I know we keep our client information confidential, and it's sometimes hard to discuss what we do with our friends or families because they don't really understand.
I don't get it.
Some days can be, you can have a really horrible day with a client and you're fine, you're okay, but then other days something so small can hit you and it really takes it out of you, and it's important to debrief with your colleagues or your support network to say, hey, this day was like this, it made me feel down, it made me feel angry, just to get it out of your system.
It happens to all of us, Rosemary, even the case managers. We lose our marbles.
I think everybody does. I was sort of thinking that these Meditech Musings might be an opportunity too for a bit of a, people just come and just to shoot the breeze and perhaps, talk about a workplace scenario, what happened, what in the exchange or during the visit, and that they can be discussed, obviously, according to, the privacy principles. And we could all learn from, whatever that scenario was. Or that experience.
I'll share a story. I went and saw a potential client yesterday with a registered nurse, maybe similar to your client, Rosemary, depression, alcoholism. Her husband passed away a month ago. She lives in housing commission. There's bipolar. She's not on a disability plan. We're assisting her to get that. Her children are, but we walked into the home and straight away my heart broke. And it made me just want to run home and hug my kids. So we have days like that, but it's I spoke to my staff about it, and we all kind of we've had similar situations, and but then we discuss the positives, try and cheer ourselves up,
turn it around, and discuss the benefits you're bringing to their world,
What can we do? What can we do to help?
That's
right. Can we link in with other services? I'm just thinking 32 hours, Rosemary, but with this one client, you're a superstar.
She certainly is.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Rosemary, if you go on leave or you are sick, what happens to this client?
She'd probably ask for her services to go on hold, I imagine.
Well, Rosemary doesn't take holidays, I bet.
But that's no good either,
No, we all need a break.
Oh. The same company, Rosemary?
So I don't think our people watching the recording can see what Rosemary's typing. So Rosemary's saying that she did have another support worker, but she's just adding some more information. So we'll wait for that. Okay.
I was just being a sticky beak and looking at the client that you're actually with now. And I see who's the case manager.
Okay, so
reach out to your case manager. Talk to her. She's incredible.
Is it you, Mitzi?
No, it's Mary. Mary.
So
The real
Rosemary
Mary.
is saying she did have a trip. She went away for 18 days. We're very glad to hear that, Rosemary. That's this part of that self-care, isn't it? Having that holiday. Someone was helping her, but the client refused one of them.
Has
Is
it
this
been
a,
tried, Rosemary,
disability
to have a
client?
buddy shift? Sorry, Katie.
No, you go first. You go first.
Have you guys, has it been trialed to maybe when you're in there, have a couple of buddy shifts with another support worker so she can get used to someone else?
While Rosemary's typing, Mitzi, you might be able to answer my question. Is her client a disability client or an aged care client?
Un momento. My computer is being a little bit slow.
Of course.
The disability.
I'm wondering if there's a support coordinator involved that's had the conversation to have another worker as part of her services too.
I don't know. Okay. The first one that was sent that will be given the client because it takes a while for her to adjust to new people and she feels it invades her privacy.
Understandable. It's her home, it's her services,
Yeah.
her choice.
Rosemary, have you got so you've been with Meditech for I think over 2 years, from what I understand. Do you have any friends, like close friends, that work with us? And live in your area?
Good. She does have friends in Meditech.
Because one idea that I have is it may not happen straight away, but you could plant the seed and start the conversation in bits and pieces and just say, oh, look, I have my best friend also works with Meditech. She's got some availability. You would love her. She's like me. Why don't you give her a go? So just in case I need to take some time off, I don't leave you without, and it'd be like having me around.
Good idea.
Sometimes you just need to stop planting the seed, water it for a little while,
Great advice, ladies. No wonder you encourage your support workers to contact case managers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't want people feeling like they're out there and they can't reach out for assistance. She doesn't mind working with her, to be honest. Obviously, that's the case with 2 years. Yeah. But, Rosemary, there are options there that we've discussed that you can consider. Okay, so just watching the time, we've still got a little bit of time. So whether we've exhausted your questions there, Rosemary, or if you can think of any others, feel free. We're loving it. And what about your support workers, Katie? Are they joining these musings, or are they talking about it, or the Facebook group?
We've sent out an email only yesterday. My apologies, Leanne. I should have sent it out sooner. Just as a reminder, I would also, I've spoken to Joan, our roster coordinator in the Gosford office, and I've asked her for a few workers that I want to attend this session, make sure they're not scheduled on with the client at the same time, and they're more than welcome to pop into the office, use my laptop or join from home. Definitely, I feel there'll be similar questions to Rosemary's.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that because, with this technology, I know not a lot of people like the technology, but you can join using your mobile phone, You don't have to put your camera on. You can just ask questions in a chat, or you can just ask questions without your camera on. You can just sit and lurk in the background and listen. There's no obligation here. And I think we can use the technology to our advantage to engage the field workers. And, this engagement is going to give us so many good ideas. And I think as we said, the exchange of information, potential to have these open days, we're going to get ideas from the field workers and hear back from them as to what they want. Yep. So if there's anyone out there watching this recording, feel free to post similar questions in the online community, the Facebook community. because, you know, we're all watching, we're all there, we're ready to answer your questions. It doesn't have to be in these musings. It can be online using that group. It is a closed group. It's a private group. So if you're worried about, you know, anything like that, it's only for members of the Meditech staffing employee community. And yeah, that, you know, let us know. What do you need to know? What do you want us to be talking about?
It'd be nice for my team in the Gosford office. I've sent out a friendly reminder this morning as well. You know, feel free to pop in. Doesn't matter if you're a support worker or a case manager. Everyone has their own opinion. They've been in the industry before. They might have something valid to input to these musings too.
And yeah, come into these online sessions, or do you mean come into the office as well, Katie?
Come into the online sessions, but my door's always open.
Yeah, of course. Beautiful.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to like maybe just send a private message or to Leanne or put it on the Facebook page, something that you would like to know about. Something, you know, you'd like to be revised, something that you'd like changed, improved, suggestions, feedback.
Yeah, we're all ears. Somebody started a chat on the group. I think it was Liza or Lisa, and I do apologise because I didn't go forward with it because I really don't know what to do with it, Lisa. It's the way you say. So I don't know if it's Liza or Lisa, but I'll go back and have a look at that. I think whether that was like an online chat opportunity that you could just talk about a particular topic using the Facebook portal. So I'll look into that and try and see if we can be using that, maybe to keep the conversations all grouped together in a, you know, in a category or a particular topic. So I will look at that. Otherwise, oh, here we go. I've just seen.
I'll have a look at my Facebook thing and see what's in there.
I just want to reiterate Carolyn's feedback for Franca last week. She said, and I know Franca's not on Facebook, so hopefully you're watching this, Franca. Carolyn feels you did the right thing as far as staying in the car, staying calm and vigilant. Be ready to drive away if you felt threatened. Remove yourself from the situation, call the community, and after that, document it all in your progress notes, email concerns to the case manager and call HR to access someone for mental wellbeing debrief. Absolutely. So that's all good advice, which we, you know, I think we've gone over. So thank you, Carolyn, for that as well. You hadn't deleted it. I just obviously couldn't find it.
Oh, another suggestion that we've had, because when I came to Meditech, I had no experience with mental health. And I found it really confronting, and it was like I didn't know how to react. Don't park your car in the driveway, so they don't know your car. So park at a block down the road. You know, don't if you're not providing transport, don't let them know what your car looks like. Take minimal stuff with you. So if you need gloves, an apron, or something, have a little pouch. Take that with you and nothing else, and your phone. If like you're concerned or, you know, you get a funny feeling in your gut, trust your gut. Okay. That's your body telling you, be alert. Leave the door open. So if there is a door with a screen door, leave the main door open, you know, the screen door, make sure it's not locked.
Yeah, I can just say we've got an e-learning subject, work with people with mental health issues here. So if anyone wants to do that, send me an email, enquiries at Meditech Training College. Topics include establish respectful relationships with people with mental health issues, determine the needs of people with mental health issues, work with people with mental health issues to meet aspirations and needs, and that's it on that one. And that's just one of about 30 to 40 e-learning modules that we've got, not all on mental health, and more are coming. So we've got one about dementia, I said that, palliative care, empowering people with a disability. Let me just go through, see if there's anything else in there.
Educate yourself on self-awareness, on mental health. Take the time out of your day to do the research on different disabilities. And the mental health first aid course is very informative, really digs deep into different disabilities.
If I'm not wrong, Katie, there is the second semester starting at TAFE, especially for women. It's one of the free courses. So it's worth checking out, because I think I'm going to do the mental first aid.
Yeah. I've my background is mental health, and I enjoy it thoroughly. I will say I prefer disability over aged care. That's just my background. And there's a stigma around mental health, as we know. It's really, I'm sure, oh no, you're not from mental health, Mitzi, but when you were discussing feeling safe going into a client's home, sometimes you get a risk assessment, a BSP, and it's the worst of the worst, right? Because you have to highlight that, and that can make you feel really anxious and scared. I think going back to what you said, in those circumstances where you have a mental health client, you're not sure, get the case manager to go out with you.
Yeah.
Make you feel comfortable, because BSP highlights, behavioural support plans highlight extreme situations. If they've done something once, but it hasn't happened again, they still need to put that in that plan.
Yeah, I think Lauren and I think from listening to you, Katie, you are of the same brain sort of like way of thinking. One thing that Meditech didn't do before is the connection between the case manager and the support worker. So like I found really strange, because in the old place that I worked, I did supervising stuff, my rostering, my case manager. So I did the whole thing. So my hands were all over. So I knew exactly what was going on. When I came to Meditech, it was like, okay, you do the assessment, do all the paperwork, pass it on to rostering, they deal with it.
That's
and
what
it was
I
very
found
disconnected.
Too. Yes, yes. So this is why this is happening. This is fantastic. When I came on board, as a case manager, I would send all new staff, all my allocations coordinator would, care plan, risk assessment, blurb, this is what the client's about. Got any questions? Give me a buzz. I found that care plans, risk assessments weren't being shared. I don't know how things operated before I came on board, but again, it's isolating. You're going into a person's home for the first time. Is there a dog in that house? Is there other people in that home? Is there weapons in the house? Is there drug paraphernalia? You need everything. You're sending a human being into a stranger's home. Risks and care plans.
Like a puppy dog might seem insignificant, but what if the support worker that I'm sending in is petrified of dogs?
Exactly. I'm petrified of big dogs, and whenever we get a client referral, I created my own little risk intake over the phone. Who's in the home? Got any pets? Any scary birds flying around? Okay, I'll come out. If I deem it an unsafe situation, though, I'll have a colleague come with me. And same with the support worker. If I think the situation's not safe, I'll recommend to the coordinator involved 2 workers to go into that home. Otherwise, we can't provide that service, because it's putting my staff in an unsafe position. Really empowering yourself, your knowledge of what you know. Same with you, Rosemary, all our support workers out there. If you ever feel unsafe, don't attend that service. Call us first, obviously. But what you
Speak
mentioned,
up.
see if you feel like a little bit unsure in your body, that feeling, that fight or flight response, just contact.
Great advice.
And look, get to know your case managers. I know that probably some of the other case managers might kill me, because it's a lot of work. But I think it's important, you might, obviously, there are situations. So go through your chain of command. So your first point of contact would be community, okay, because it's a rostering issue. But if it's a client concern that may not be, passed on adequately, maybe just email community and just say, please CC case manager, ask case manager to contact me.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, Rosemary, I don't know what the case managers are like in Sydney. I know a few of them, and I think they're amazing. But for me, I know I can be really, really busy, and I'm not available to speak to anyone that day, or I'm out on the road visiting my clients. So to manage those expectations, I let everyone know, look, I'm out this day. Can I call you in 2 days' time unless it's really urgent? Can you wait? Facilitating the conversation, managing expectations. That way you're not going to disappoint anyone. But obviously, if it's an emergency, squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah. And just say, look, no, I need to speak to you now because it's an emergency. So if we are with a client or someone, we know to step out and take the call.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have a number that is always answered, don't we?
Yep.
Yep, good. Okay,
And it may
excellent.
happen if you're calling community, and because we at the moment we are very short staffed, we're recruiting and
are.
training new rostering team members. We are all in a loop,
Mhm.
so it may go over until someone answers. So it may be a case manager. Don't be surprised if it's Rod that answers.
Yes.
It may be anyone in the office because we're all connected to the same loop.
Great. Yep. Wonderful. Well, I think on that note, we might wrap it up. Rosemary's just concurring. She has a great rapport with Mary, the case manager for her client. So that's
Good.
Yeah,
obviously
awesome.
she's worked that out in the 2 years
Yeah.
she's been with us. So any newcomers know that that is an option for you as well. And thank you so much, Katie. I hope to see you at some more of these.
Yeah, it was nice to have you, Katie.
Yeah,
I
lovely.
love this so much. I'm sorry I haven't joined earlier. I've been a little
That's okay.
busy, but
That's
I
okay.
really appreciate Meditech organising these chats. You've
Great.
highlighted what we need to do and you've actioned it. And as a support worker in the past, thank you for doing this.
Oh, look, I love it.
Yeah.
I love giving people an opportunity to learn from each other. That's as I said, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. I haven't worked as a support worker. My background is education, and I know that when adults start talking with each other, start sharing those scenarios, that's when they learn, and they have the critical discourse, you know, with one person saying, no, I wouldn't do it like that. I would do it like this. And this is how we learn. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, lovely ladies, all three of you. And Rosemary, no such thing as a stupid question. Your questions have been absolutely fantastic this week and every week.
Yeah.
Thank you
And look
so
forward
much.
to next Wednesday's questions, Rosemary. So make sure
Yeah.
you're on.
And we hope to
Thank
see
you
more
so
support
much.
workers next week, back to the normal time, 12:30 next week. So I do apologise for the change, but thank you, ladies, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and make
Have a
sure
good
you
week.
tell your friends and other support staff if they don't know about it. Please get them to listen to the old recordings, get them to come on board.
Yep.
Maybe get them to give you a question if they don't want to sign on, and
Yep.
then we can put stuff out there so we can all learn from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wonderful.
Great. Excellent. Thanks, guys.